Welcome to Talk About. On our website you'll find lots of information to help you if you care for young children with speech, language and communication needs. In this short film, I will focus on how you can support children with expressive language difficulties. These children struggle to put into the right words what it is they want to say, or they may have difficulty using sentences that other people can easily understand.
So we first noticed there were some concerns about Rosa's speech and language development when she was at nursery, approaching around the age of 4. And we noticed that compared to her peers, she seemed to be having some difficulty making some sounds.
Providing a language-rich environment during the first few years of life has a hugely positive impact on how well children learn to express themselves through language. Whether we're caring for children at home or in preschool, we should ensure they have lots of opportunities to enjoy talking with us and have fun trying out their new skill of talking. If we don't provide this positive environment, some children will be at risk of developing expressive language difficulties.
Thank you.
There are other risk factors too, which can contribute to expressive language difficulties, such as a child having a hearing loss, a developmental delay, a learning difficulty, or a specific language impairment. But whatever the reason, there are lots of things we can all do to help these children communicate with confidence. So how do we know if a child has expressive language difficulties? It is much easier to identify than receptive language difficulties, but do be aware the two can be linked. The first thing to consider is whether the child's expressive language seems limited compared to other children of their age, and this indicates a delay in their expressive language development. Or they may use a more limited number of words than other children of their age, again indicating a delay.
So when we were thinking about the difficulties that Rosa might be having with her speech and language, I had quite mixed feelings because Rosa doesn't have any siblings, so I didn't really have anything to compare it with, so I didn't kind of really know how far away from like a kind of average or usual range that she was. And I felt quite torn between thinking that children develop at their own pace, and I didn't want to kind of label or stigmatise something that may or may not be a problem, maybe within the usual range. But at the same time, I didn't want to not take action that was going to help her develop her speech and language if there was a problem.
Children with an expressive language disorder can also have trouble saying words in the right order, so their sentences can sound muddled. For example, instead of saying, "I don't want a drink," it might come out as, "No, I want drink," or "want drink, no."
One of the things we did notice sometimes was that although sometimes it was really fast and she couldn't wait to get the words out, sometimes there would be a bit of a pause and she'd sort of roll her eyes up a little bit, thinking, trying to kind of find the word.
Words we use to indicate past and present, like ran or run, can also be tricky. But we have to remember that lots of preschool children take time to master these, so on its own it's not an indication of an expressive language difficulty. In some cases, these children use sentences that we can't easily understand. We can just pick out the occasional recognisable word mixed in with lots of other unintelligible sounds. Sometimes children with expressive language difficulties use vague words instead of the exact words. So, for example, if a child wanted to tell you about a ladder he can see over there, he might say that thing over there instead of that ladder over there. And they commonly use gestures to help us understand what they want to say. So a child might use the rabbit ears instead of the word rabbit if he doesn't know the word rabbit yet. When young children have trouble talking, it can be easy for them to give up. So we need to encourage them to keep talking without pressurizing them too much. Don't keep asking them questions, as questions can be too much pressure and lead to children clamming up. Instead, create a need for the child to talk in other ways. Here are some examples. Use nursery rhymes and repetitive stories, like the Three Little Pigs or Going on a Bear Hunt, to encourage children to join in with the songs and repetitive phrases, or to finish off what you're saying. Children often join in more easily as part of a group, rather than on their own, and it's fun.
That's a brush!
You've got two crackers. Two crackers, there you are. And would you like some butter? Yes, please.
During activities or at snack time, offer choices so the child can say or indicate what he wants.
What should we put in the house, Thomas? Should we have Thomas, should we have sheep or cat?
Such a brilliant picture. Hetty, do you think you'd like the bucket or the fork? The fork.
Encourage children with expressive language difficulties to bring in their own toys or items of interest to tell you about. This will provide the basis for a real conversation, which is how children learn to talk in the most effective way.
Around his arms.
That's it. You push his arm through the armhole, can't you?
Remember to modify the way you talk. To encourage a child's early words to develop, say the words for things or actions yourself and repeat them a lot.
Oh no! Tree's fallen down. Should we fix it? Tree fell down. Should we put monkey?
Emphasise the key words in a sentence, those which seem most important. Speak clearly and not too fast.
We might have somebody hiding on something, or we might have somebody hiding under something.
As children's language develops further, keep what you say short and simple. Expand what the child says to provide a model of the next language steps.
A teeth.
So you say, give him teeth.
Give him teeth.
Can you try on the phone? Say, give him teeth.
Teeth.
Give him his teeth.
If you hear a sentence which just sounds wrong, say it again in the right way yourself. But you don't need to ask the child to say it again.
It's going to bed.
Is he getting ready for bed?
Yes.
So the boy is getting ready for bed and brushing his teeth.
Don't correct children's talking too much in the early years, but keep talking fun.
As the dinosaurs and plants.
So try that one again with an even better.
It was really, really fantastic the way that the staff at nursery worked with us and with the speech and language therapist as well.
Taking my pen.
That's all right. If we can do it perfect.
I went on a submarine on a Sunday with my friend called Sunny.
Wow, loads of sounds.
I'd really encourage anyone that's working in a nursery setting to take up training if it's offered by the Speech and Language Therapy Service.
We can't go over it. We've got to go.
I like
What a beautiful day.
We hope you found this film useful. Remember, some children may have more than one speech, language or communication need. In this case, a child with an expressive language difficulty may also have a receptive language difficulty, as the two things can go together. You'll find more information about receptive language difficulties on the Talk About website.